It starts with a flash forward of a man contemplating using a mysterious machine, a machine that outputs your life's potential. Dusty is a high school teacher. He has no discernible talents other than being good at whistling. There is no prestige in whistling. There is no money in whistling. Dusty is celebrating his 40th birthday with wife Cass and daughter Trina. Birthday boy Dusty makes a stop at Mr. Johnson's convenience store. He notices a glowing machine. It looks like a video game. It's a Morpho, a machine that can predict your life's potential. Mr. Johnson tells Dusty that this thing is a hit around town. He can't keep people out of his store. He's even began taking photos of people after they get their Morpho cards. Dusty, a skeptic, thinks it's all rather silly. Once Dusty gets to class, his students are buzzing about Morpho. He tells them this shit is silly. It should only be considered for entertainment purposes. Later that night, as Cass treats them to a birthday dinner, she can't stop talking about Morpho. He tells her the shit is silly. They're joined by an old classmate, Giorgio. Giorgio owns the restaurant they're at. He starts in on Morpho. He tells them that his card said superstar. Giorgio thinks he's been a superstar all of his life. And again, Dusty tells them this shit is silly. The next morning after getting out of the shower, Dusty notices that he's got 3 blue dots on his ass. Once he makes it to school, Dusty picks a Morpho card out of the garbage can. The card says liar. Now, Dusty's original argument was that Morpho only gave out empty positivity. Well, now he sees that maybe that's not the case. He either has to soften his opinion on Morpho, or he has to change his argument altogether. He bumps into his student Jacob in the hallway. Jacob works at Mr. Johnson's store. Jacob had a twin, Colton, who died in a car accident. As a matter of fact, Dusty's daughter Trina was dating Colton at the time. Anyway, Dusty lets Jacob know that today's lesson is going to be emotionally heavy. He gives Jacob permission to sit this one out. The next morning, more blue dots on the ass. On his way to work, Dusty sees Mr. Johnson's store has lines around the corner. Morpho is all the rage. His principal Pat passes him by on her new motorcycle. I'm assuming her card said Hell's Angel. Once again, Dusty lectures his class about how ridiculous Morpho is. Later that night, Dusty joins Father Rubin for a drink. Their discussion turns to Morpho. Father seems to want to avoid the discussion altogether. He eventually agrees with Dusty that life can have more than one path, and that the whole concept of Morpho is flawed. Dusty gives in. He walks to Mr. Johnson's store in the middle of the night. Mr. Johnson encourages him. Give it a shot. The machine asks for social security number and fingerprints. That would have been a no-go for me right there. Dusty gets his card. It says, Teacher, Whistler. To say Dusty is disappointed is an understatement. We get a flashback of Cass and her friend Nat. They're at Mr. Johnson's store. Nat encourages Cass to get a Morpho card. Cass seems confused about her card. It simply says, royalty. We jump back to the present. Dusty has gotten back home after receiving his Morpho card. He has to talk with Cass. He tries to convince her and himself that he's all good with his Morpho potential prediction. Cass goes to Mama Izzy's store to drop off some items for consignment. By the way, Izzy is also the town mayor. Cass is upset with her mom because she believes she isn't pushing her products enough. Back to Dusty's classroom, some of the students are finally beginning to question Morpho. Maybe Dusty's skepticism is finally sinking in. The students pester Jacob about his Morpho card. He doesn't want to tell them what it said. They assume that it's something bad. Jacob gets upset and leaves class. He goes to smoke a J. One puff in and he hears a call for help. It's Principal Pat. She's had a motorcycle accident. Jacob assists. At a family dinner, Dusty's parents announce that they're getting a divorce. Morpho is breaking up long-standing marriages now. However, Dusty's parents seem pretty happy about it. Cass is also supportive of their decision. This leads to Cass and Dusty getting into an argument. She manages to get in a few low blows on Dusty. Cass sports a royalty sweatshirt. She's leaning in hard to her Morpho directive. She pulls her products from her mom's store. Royalty does not request, it demands. At the store, Mr. Johnson is encouraging Jacob to take a photo with his card. Jacob is reluctant. When he finally gives in, he reveals his card. It says, Hero. What is Morpho? Who is Morpho? Why is Morpho? Mr. Johnson never ordered the machine. One morning, Jacob arrived for work and it was just there. He proceeded to set up the machine. He flew through every prompt without reading any of them. That's not a good idea. I think some of those prompts had some pretty important shit. Jacob's dad, Bo, is very proud of him for being a hero. Jacob may have very well saved Principal Pat's life. Bo tells Jacob that he's quitting his job. He's gonna step up and be there for him. When Jacob's twin Colton died, his dad wasn't there for him emotionally. Jacob arrives to class and he gets a hero's welcome. They discuss Principal Pat not being able to do her ceremonial slam dunk for the first game of the basketball season. Jacob has been involuntarily given that honor to stand in for her. Heroes gotta do hero shit. After Jacob leaves class, he suffers a panic attack. The gang's all together. The adults are having a group hangout at the bar. I think they were all classmates in high school. Giorgio holds court. He starts to guess everyone's Morpho card. Father claims that he hasn't used Morpho and doesn't plan to either. As attention shifts to Dusty, he begins to feel smaller and smaller. It's game time. The band plays Angel by Shaggy in tribute to Jacob's brother, Colton. Here comes the dunk. Jacob goes down the lane like Vince Carter. Vince Carter, the librarian, not Vince Carter, the basketball player. His dunk fails miserably. He flees the gym. Trina runs after him. As they make it outside, Trina kisses Jacob. What the hell is going on? She was dating his twin brother before he died. Is Jacob Colton? Was she two-timing Colton with his twin brother Jacob? I need answers. Father Reuben is going through it. He stands outside of Mr. Johnson's store. He goes and uses the Morpho machine. He stares at his card. Whatever his card says, it breaks him. It's revealed that his card says, Father. I'm guessing this father doesn't mean that father. I went into this with no expectations. After Shrinking, I was kind of down on Apple TV comedies. But the first 3 episodes of this show really made me laugh. They're still holding back on what's behind Morpho, but I've bought in. I'm in.